All right, y'all, we are here. All right, it's been a long time since me and this guy here hooked up. So we're glad to be able to bring this to you. And what we're going to be building on is a prelude to February the 3rd, 2024, upcoming event, starting off the so called Black History Month, right? February the 3rd. It would be myself as well as Brother Crumb, the master student in the building. And he will be dropping on We Are the Reptilians.
Peace and love, Almighty. I am humbled. I am honored. I am grateful to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, no problem. You know, you always welcome, God. Always have been. I don't know how we lost contact and said that I blocked you somehow. I never would have did that. So what we want to do, I know you want to share the screen. I know you got a presentation that you want to share, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Let me see how I transfer the screen for you can use it. Let me see. Boom. Hmm. Peace to everyone in the chat. We just getting ourselves together here. I'm trying to figure out how to use Brother Crumb. Okay, here we go. Let's add to the stage here. Here we go. All right.
All right. Um, I got some little goofy sound effects. Can you hear me laugh?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, okay. uh, I got a toy here, and I just can't help but I want to play with it. But nonetheless, yes. It is I, your humble brother Crumb, the master student. I wanted to bring up this document. Now, um, yeah, wait, so here it is right here. Boom. Mm, It's going to be a live lecture. We are the Reptilians, with hosted by none other than I go by the moniker the master student. This is the master teacher. I stand on the shoulders of my elders. I know a lot of y'all get y'all information from TikTok and a 1 minute measure, which I find just utterly impossible. But nonetheless, I follow the big dogs, the real scholars, and I'm not saying that just to flatter him. I'm saying that because the reality is, I got this measure from him. I got this from him, uh, and this is years ago. He was one of the only people in the world saying this information, and when I caught a whiff of it, I was like, "Whoa, this is just incredible!" So, I give high honors and perfect praise. I'll start here with this 50 slide, but I have 10 of these slides all based off his work. So I'll give you one slide, I'm sorry, one PowerPoint, but on to kick off Black History Month. We're not Black History Month, Black Mystery Month. We might even do White History Month. But to kick that whole thing off, we're going to do it with the We Are Reptilians, and this is a taste of it. I'll start by going over wisdom. Is that good, teacher?
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay, so wisdom dealing with reptilians. Medusa's reptilian curse is another symbolic example of the occult correlation between the serpent and wisdom. Now, this first source is according to um, oanita.edu. I think that's like in Canada or something like that. But the article is titled From Snake Goddess to Medusa. I want to point out that she was first a snake goddess before she was considered to be ugly. She was actually her beauty rivaled that of Athena. That's why she was graped by Neptune or Poseidon or something to that effect. And that's when the whole beef between her and Athena came about. I digress. It says, significantly, scholars have seen the name Medusa etymologic, etymologic, etymologically going back to the Sanskrit name Medha, or in Greek, Metis, or in Egyptian, it wasn't called Egyptian, but in Egyptian, Ma'at, all meaning sovereign female wisdom. So this snake goddess, even before the whole beef with Athena and the graping by Neptune, Poseidon, whatever you want to call him, even before all of that, she was known for her sovereign female wisdom. This is transcending just the Greek Greco-Roman mythology. This is going to the Cometian mythology system. The second reference says, and it's just a confirmation. The name Medusa means sovereign female wisdom, guardian, protectress. Remember, she's the protector of kids and the guardian of children, but this is all above the Amazonians because it was dealing with women, because she was from the temple of Athena. And if you go back and look at, I think Wonder Woman is an Amazonian. I want the chat to help me out on that one. But I think Wonder Woman even spoke to how she looked up or paid reverence to Medusa. And I think it was a black Wonder Woman, but whichever one of those Amazonian superheroes, that was the one who was under Medusa. And Wonder Woman rode Pegasus. That's it. Wonder Woman rode Pegasus. Pegasus came out of the head of Medusa. I digress. This is coming from, now, I know a lot of people say, respectfully, Wikipedia isn't a good source, and I accept that. Or at the college and university level, when it comes to the brothers and sisters, respectfully, a lot of us are laymen. A lot of us aren't astute enough to get into the higher levels. So to keep it 1+1 for the family, you can go look this up yourself. You don't have to buy the book, whatever the case may be. But basically, the question is the name Sophia in the Bible? Answer: Sophia is a central idea in Hellenistic philosophy and religion, Platonism, Gnosticism, that's a big one, Orthodox Christianity, that's another big one, esoteric Christianity, well, yeah, both of them, and Christian mysticism. I subscribe to the ideology that Judaism, Christianity, and Islam are mythology. I don't take these things literally. I do see their value. I don't drink the Kool-Aid. That's all I'm saying. I'm not the guy who's following Jim Jones and doing all the extra stuff, but I do understand the information for what it is. Moving on. This is a part of where Dr. Alim El-Bey really blew my mind, because this is the thing, family. I don't be going around just believing people. I do not just go around believe. If you say something, I'm gonna check the Carfax. I've vetted him. And what I came back with is that the information is all wise, right, and exact. So it says, Ophis. Ophis is Greek for serpent. Biblically, Somalia is Cush, but the Greeks called it Ophir, meaning serpent nation. So let me just make it super, super clear. When I say reptilians, oh, well, you mean not us as in so-called black people. According to the Greeks, they called us reptilians. They called us the serpent nation, but it wasn't a diss. It wasn't a bad way. We understood why they called us that. I digress. Ophis is Greek for serpent. Biblically, Somalia is Cush, but the Greeks called it Ophir, meaning serpent nation. Greeks called Cushites Ophites, meaning the serpent race. It doesn't get more reptilian than that, or maybe it does. Arwe was the serpent god they worshipped before Abrahamic religions. I have no problem with Ali Selassie. I have no problem with King David. I have no problem with any of that. But before that came into place, this is what was banging over there. This whole serpent reverence before we got the Sky Daddy concept. No disrespect to anybody. Ophir, according to Hebrew, is a port or region mentioned in the Bible famous for its wealth. These weren't no scrubs. These people were big ballers. They, at the very least, heads of gold. I think it was a saying, head of gold, body of stone, a chest of stone, legs of iron, feet of clay. Talking about Babylon, it couldn't sustain its weight with the foundation. They had a head of gold, body of stone, feet of some incredible foundation. I'm just making the point that they were very smart people. King Solomon received a cargo from Ophir every 3 years, according to 1 Kings chapter 10, verse 22, which consisted of gold, silver, sandalwood, pearls, ivory, even apes and peacocks. So, this wasn't the third world country that they show you about Somalian pirates. This is my ship now. It's not that. This is, I'm not going to say Mansa Musa level, but they were doing pretty well. I'll say that at the very least. Moving on. Ignore. Wisdom. Ancient Greeks, Romans, and Babylonians held the serpent as a symbol of wisdom too. Sophia is simply Ophi with a S in the front and an A at the end. So when I say Sophia, you look inside of that word and you're going to see Ophi, because Sophia means wisdom. Ophi are the wise ones, the wise serpent people. In my little blurb here, it says, my meme, the return of the serpents of wisdom. And you're going to see here in particular, this is a fire serpent. This fire serpent is known as Kundalini, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me continue on. So Sophie is the root word of sophisticated. So when people say, oh, so-and-so is sophisticated, this is where that comes from. It comes from Sophie. According to vocabulary.com, in an article titled Sophistication, Definition, Meaning, and Synonyms, it reads, before the 1800s, sophistication meant the use of sophistry, or using mistaken or deceitful arguments, although the root word for both sophistication and sophistry is the Greek sophites, or wise men. The sophites, being wise men, would be the equivalent of a magi, a wise man. Now, I don't want to conflate the two because I haven't confirmed that it's the exact whatever, because when you're dealing with that, that's over in Persia, modern day Iran, and this is Greek, which is far away and comes very much later than people over there under Zoroastrianism. It predates this. I digress. When we're dealing with wisdom, the word Sophie comes from the word Sufi. I got that from Dr. Bobby Hemmett. I didn't realize that. He pointed it out. I had to fact check him, as everything. And again, let me say this really quickly. Family, don't believe a word that I say. Do not believe a word that I say. Do your own research. I was talking to somebody real quick, doctor, just a sidebar. They was like, oh, they never taught us that in school. I said, well, and I used to say that as well. But when people say they never taught us that in school, it almost insinuates that our education, our knowledge is someone else's responsibility. They have no obligation to tell you anything, okay? You're responsible for your own education. So, with that said, don't rely on me. You have to do your own research, family. With that, that's my caveat. With that said, that was the same thing I did with Bobby Hemmett. Bobby Hemmett said it. It blew my mind. I had to go look, and it was true what he said. So Sufi doesn't come from the word Sophia, as some scholars would like you to believe. Sophia comes from the word Sufi. This is according to umass.edu. This is a scholastic site. Some have argued that Sophie is derived from Sophia or Sophos, Greek word meaning wisdom. I think this is a fabrication of foreign researchers who try to prove that Sufism has a foreign and therefore non-Islamic origin. Sufism does not have a foreign and non-Islamic origin. Sophia has a foreign and non-Greco-Roman origin. Sufism is going to predate Sophia. I digress, though. The first Muslim to be called a Sufi was a great ascetic, Abu Hashim al-Kufi. I've said a lot, though. I'm 10 slides in. Let me breathe for just a moment. Good doctor, what say ye?
I'm continuing listening. Everything that you're saying is 100% on point, coincide with everything that I've studied over the last 35 years.
Woo! Tap in. Okay. I am humbled. I am humbled. So let's continue on with wisdom. The original melanated people are snake, write this down, family, serpent, dragon, reptilians, which are really all the Naga. When he didn't say reptilian, he said dragon. Well, tomato. A dragon, a serpent, a snake, a reptilian. You're going to see these words interchangeable. And sometimes people get confused, and I don't like that. But generally speaking, it's all within the same vein. Naga, which is a Sanskrit word for serpent people. Those who are mentally able to activate the Kundalini energy, and now, as I was saying earlier, the serpent fire. If you know Dr. Alim El-Bey, then you already know that I got this from him, and he talks about it. And back in the day, my moniker was your favorite racist. And I was just really hyper focused on the black versus white thing. And I know you're not necessarily that person, but you made a distinction. And because of my hyper focus, I couldn't help but to just burn it into my psyche. Dr. Alim El-Bey, he didn't say this. He cited this. There was a book written. I think this is the cover. The book that I'm referencing that I got from the doctor was called Spontaneous Combustion, written by a husband and wife. And the wife says that she did find it notably odd that all of the cases that they had researched in spontaneous combustion were all Tamahu, Flugelrod, troglodyte,
mutanoid.
Thank you. And so, with that said, I have to make mention of that because it really tickled me pink. It's not hard to do. I'm light, bright, almost white. But yeah, when we're dealing with this serpent fire, the serpent fire is a dragon life force called Kundalini. If you've studied Dr. Alim El-Bey, well, I have, and he's the first person not only the first person, let me add this, the only person who I've heard go deep into this in terms of the I believe it's the Ida and Pingala. Is that correct, doctor?
Yes.
Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So these two serpents, one is black, one is white, and they're coiling, not coiling, but intersecting around each other as they go up this this pole, this spine, or whatever the case may be. And they're called the Ida and Pingala, these two serpents. But yeah, you can drain this life force. Because we know when we're dealing with this wisdom, wisdom is higher self. That's the manifestation. And there's nothing wrong with the root chakra. I love my root chakra. I enjoy root chakra activities. I am not going to sit here and lie to nobody. However, we have to tell the truth. If we're going to tell the truth, we tell the whole truth. Because men give, and I put give in quotations, you can kind of use your imagination to fill in the blanks. Men give. Thus, they risk draining their energy. This particular type of drainage, is energy drainage, is called in French la petite mort, meaning the little death. As he loses consciousness, this is men exclusively, as he loses consciousness, as he climb at the climax of the intimate experience. Because this experience, this is him expressing himself through his root chakra. When he is in full expression of the root chakra, the crown chakra blacks out for a hot second. It's called la petite mort. This is why semen retention is important. And doctor, I don't want to be too far out there, but I have never. Anybody know how often never is? I never practice semen retention. I shoot the club up. But let me come back to the real world. Sometimes family, I don't take my blood pressure pills, so I kind of get, a little out there sometimes. Please forgive me. I don't take blood pressure pills. That was just a joke. Wisdom. So this is according to Buddha, because we're going to see this reptilian wisdom being ubiquitous across cultures. Oh, well, okay, I get it, Crumb. Over there in Egypt, over there in Kemet. No, not just Kemet, not just Greece, not just Arabia or Persia, modern day Iraq, also according to the belief system of the Buddhists. So this is Nagarjuna or Nagarjuna is particularly associated with the, I'm not even going to try to say it, perfection of wisdom. And just in case anybody wants to fact check me and do the research, which video, Crumb? Which Dr. Alim El-Bey video did you? It was a video. I think it was in tandem with Brother Panic, rest in power, breaking down the word Nigga.
Right.
And when they broke that word down, and matter of fact, I don't even think that was a video. I think I got that from your website.
Yeah, me and Brother Bobby Hemmett.
Bobby Hemmett. Okay, excuse me. Keep me honest. If you go to Dr. Alim Bey's website, it is
but it was also on Panic's webs his occult lectures.
Okay,
he
yes,
put
sir.
it up. Mm-hmm.
Keep me honest. Yes, sir. Thank you. And I believe that I ended up on his website via yours. I started on yours, and I went down a rabbit hole, and it sent me over there amongst other places. And I was just saying to the family, it's a treasure trove. If you go over there, that's part of the initiation. Going onto his website is a part of the initiation of you getting into the higher levels of education and consciousness. I digress. So we're dealing with the Naga, which is us, the Nigga, respectfully, not to be crude. And this serpent, the Naga, is dealing with wisdom. So here we go. Nagarjuna is particularly associated with the perfection of wisdom sutras in this corpus. According to legend, he retrieved from the bottom of the sea a perfection of wisdom sutra that the Buddha had entrusted to the king of the Nagas, which are water deities, for safe keeping. Wherever you go, whichever culture you want to go to. This whole Naga wisdom thing transcends any one particular culture, and it is ubiquitous across a plethora of belief system, mystery systems, schools of thought, religions, what have you. Let's continue on. And if you get to know me, your humble brother Crumb, you'll know that I don't just do the scholastic references. I do like pop culture references because a lot of times, these movies be tapping into our deeper science. Matter of fact, I remember Bobby Hemmett used to do that a lot. He'll tell you, not only read a book, go watch a movie, go watch the ABC movie, whatever the case may be, because it's something in there to be learned. So, in the cartoon Dragon Ball Z, if you collect all 7 Dragon Balls, the dragon appears. She, because it's a female dragon, represents wisdom, because wisdom is feminine in nature. She represents wisdom, as she can answer any question because she's a genius, and grant any wish because she's a genie. Now, I want to focus the family's attention. I put here the origins, is called etymology, the etymon of the word genie. Just to make sure, oh, Crumb, you've got such an imagination. No, that's not what this is. This is all wise, right, and exact. Go back and look at the word genie. The origin, genius. And if you go even further down, there's an Arabic origin. It's called a jinn. A genie is a genius, is a jinn. So now, mid-17th century, denoting a guardian protective spirit. Now, look at this serpent. This serpent has a scowl on its face. It doesn't look very friendly because it's a protector. It's not supposed to look friendly. Oh, Crumb, these spirits, those are demons. Well, technically, yeah, you're right. It is a demon. But a demon is a tutelary spirit. A tutelary spirit is a guardian spirit. It's a guardian angel. Your guardian angel isn't beautiful. Your guardian angel is scary. To scare, this is your dog. I guess dogs can be cute when they're puppies, but pit bulls or these other dogs, they are an intimidating posture and force. Your guard dog is intimidating, just like your guardian spirit is intimidating. Oh, Crumb, these look like demons. Well, yeah, and you're supposed to harness this energy. I digress. A guardian or protective spirit, from French, genie, from Latin, genius. Genie was adopted, and I'm not going to go there. Okay, yeah, I will. Genie was adopted in the current sense of the 18th century French translators of the Arabian Nights entertainment because its resemblance from the sense to Arabic jinn. Moving on, because we're still on wisdom. The dragon is a type of reptilian, as I said earlier, and reptilians are a type of jinn. Crumb, you not certified. You don't, how you supposed to know? How am I going to take your word? Don't. This is according to nurmuhammad.com. Because I don't be in the Quran like that. But these folks do. Tap in with them. This is what they say. So now when we're dealing with jinn, the most famous jinn is Shaitan, the Islamic Satan. In Revelations, this is your Judeo-Christian, but more so Christian. In Revelations, he is described as a dragon, making him a reptilian jinn. This is according to Wiki, and when I use Wiki, this is the bottom of the barrel. Meaning, if you don't know this, This is elementary school. This is, are you smarter than if you don't know this, then you're not smarter than a fifth grader. This is the bottom of academia. This is layman. We should all know this. Don't critique Wikipedia if there's something on Wikipedia that you don't know about, because that means you're not even at the bottom. That's subpar lazy scholarship. Shaitan is an evil spirit in Islam. I don't like the word evil, that's subjective, but let's keep going. Inciting humans and the jinn to sin by whispering in their hearts. I don't fully subscribe to that, but generally speaking, that's what you're going to get from Orthodox. Moving forward, Lucifer falling from heaven is really Christ's consciousness for falling from the highest God state. I believe that's a Dr. Alim El-Bey quote. He some of my PowerPoints, not all of them, but some of them, he'll say something and I'll just type it. I'll research it, but I'll just type it in simple terms instead of reinventing the wheel. He's already given you the information. I'm just junior, just regurgitating daddy. Lucifer falling from heaven is really Christ consciousness falling from the highest God state, i.e. crown chakra, to your lowest state, i.e. root chakra, which is red, representative of the devil. So now, according to the book of Revelations, chapter 12, verse 9, when the church has it say amen, I'm just joking, y'all. I'm a recovering Christian. I'm still going back to my Christian days. Revelations actually is 12 and 3, verse 3 first. Then another sign appeared in heaven, an enormous red dragon. This is in heaven. An enormous red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns on his heads. Skip down to verse 9. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent, I told you these are interchangeable, called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled to the earth and his angels with him. Now, with that said, if you don't know that, I was told Islam fills in a lot of gaps and tells a lot of the story that the Bible doesn't quite get because of the Council of Nicaea, so on and so forth, Canaanite scripture, blah, blah, blah. So Dr. Malachi Z. York says Revelations comes first before Genesis. The Bible is not in order, and that's why it's confusing. According to Dr. Malachi Z. York, Revelations should be first. And you're going to see this in Islam as well, where the story of Shaitan appears before the story of the creation of Adam. Shaitan is having this whole thing when Adam is first created, and that's what led to him to fall. So God says to him, bow to man. Now remember, I don't know what people's belief system are, and if I've offended you, I apologize in advance. But God is a trickster. God be trying tricks on y'all. Yahweh, in the Old Testament, was a trickster. Go back and look at Abraham. Yahweh told Abraham, he said, go unalive Isaac as the sacrifice. And then as soon as Abraham goes to unalive Isaac, God sends Yahweh sends an angel, and the angel sends a text message. Just kidding, LOL. Just kidding. I was about to unalive my kid. You talk about just kidding. God is a trickster. I digress. So I would go as far. This is just me. Conspiracy theory. I want the family to get to know me. Listen, I'm your humble brother Crumb, the master student, but I do take pleasure and pride and joy in wearing a tinfoil hat, family. I do wear a tinfoil hat. So this is my tinfoil hat rendition. God was playing a trick on Shaitan. and says, bow to man, knowing that this God is a jealous God. You bow to no one and nothing before God. Put nothing before God. You only bow to God. And Shaitan is like, I don't bow to nobody except God. What are you guys talking about? What are you talking about? He's sitting here going against God. He said, I don't bow to nobody but. Now, of course, the story is I'm not going to bow because he's made of mud. I'm made of fire. But I would go even further to say that he knew that he's not allowed to worship no God except God Almighty. I digress. So now, in the Bible, this is from Jesus. This is from Jesus. Amen. This is from Jesus. Ashe. In the Bible, Jesus instructs man to be as wise as a serpent. So Jesus wants you to be as wise as a serpent. Ain't that something, family? Ain't that something? Remember, this is according to Gnosticism. This is very much not orthodox, but the serpent asked Eve one question: why does your God seek to keep you ignorant? Because the serpent represents wisdom, and Eve didn't know. Speaking of Eve, let's go into the serpent woman. Did I put Eve in here? It looks like I did not. I should have. It may be in another PowerPoint, but Eve means serpent. Let me just fact check that. Does Eve mean serpent? It has been suggested, this is just wicked, this is 1 + 1. It has been suggested that the Hebrew name Eve also bears resemblance to the Aramaic word for snake. The origin for this etymological, I can't say that word, hypothesis is the rabbinic pun present in Genesis Rabbah 20:11, utilizing the similarity between Heb, Hawa, and Aram, because Eve's name is Hawa, but even Hawa represents the serpent. So that's how a lot of people would, some people would say conflation, but I would say those things are actually tied together. But yeah, let's go back to Medusa, the serpent woman. Medusa was a sun goddess and representative of women's genital mysteries. Snakes are generally connected to the sun in mythology, obviously as in Egypt, or more subtly as the guardian of the solar apples of Hesperides. Let me, oh, my phone, 1%, perfect. I wanted to ask the listening audience, are you familiar with the story of the guardian of the solar apples? If you are not, if you're not familiar with this, well, actually, here, let me breathe for a minute. Good doctor, are you familiar with this story?
Yes.
Okay. Well, for the listening audience, if you're not familiar, press 000. If you are not familiar with this story, and of course, I'll read it from PerseusTufts.edu. This is a scholastic source. It reads, well, the title is Hercules' 11th Labor, the Apples of Hesperides. These apples were kept in a garden at the northern edge of the world, and they were guarded not only by a 100-headed dragon named Ladon, but also by Hesperides, nymphs who were daughters of Atlas, the Titan who held the sky and the earth upon his shoulders. The Hesperides in the garden. I don't know if the family understood what I just said, but this is basically the whole Garden of Eden thing. The whole thing with the Garden of Eden and the apple and the serpent and the fruit and the tree. It was this story is another ubiquitous tale. You're going to go into different civilizations, different time eras, different places, different times, and you're going to see this story appear in different aspects. So this whole serpent thing with Eve and the tree is a continuation of an older story. The Uraeus, the serpent woman. The Uraeus, which is a female king cobra. Oh, it's a king cobra. Well, when you say king, remember that denotes masculine. But the Uraeus is a female king cobra. It's a symbol of the goddess Wadjet, one of the earliest Kemetic deities. The snake has always represented female authority and wisdom. This is the whole thing with Ma'at, Medha, Metis, or Medusa. The Uraeus was worn by Kemetic leadership, indicating rule through divine feminine energy. This was a part of the crown. This was a part of the, in this sign we shall conquer. In this sign we are the royals. What sign? The Uraeus. What's the Uraeus? It was a female king cobra. As you can see in my picture, it's a beautiful Uraeus. And then the actual goddess that was representative was this dark-skinned girl. She's very much reptilian. She is very much reptilian. Let's move on. The serpent woman, Apollo and the Pythia. After defeating the Python at Delphi, he names his priest the Pythia. This is Apollo. Apollo gets in a fight with this serpent. And you're going to see this fight everywhere. Zeus has to fight Typhon. Now, as a matter of fact, I got this from Bobby Hemmett. I had done the We Are the Reptilians, and I studied Malachi Z. York, Dr. Alim El-Bey, a lot of my master teachers. But it wasn't until later, maybe like at the end of last year, I finally got a hold of Bobby Hemmett, and he gave his portion of how the Titans, the primordial gods, because these are water deities, the primordial gods were all reptilians. The new gods had to fight the old gods. For Zeus to be who he is, he had to fight Typhon. Here, let me pull the receipts on that. Zeus versus Typhon. The two fought a cataclysmic battle, which Zeus finally won with the aid of his thunderbolts. Remember, Typhon kicked his butt on the first battle. The first battle, Typhon comes and kicks a double crooked letter. And tore his tendons out, because you can't kill a god, but you can cripple him. Zeus had to get the help of Pan and Hermes. They had to jump him. They had to double bang him because Zeus couldn't do it by himself. But then you're going to see the same fight, same girl. The same fight with the same God versus Leviathan. Oh yeah, y'all gonna learn today. This is from Poulter Project, the Poulter Project, in an article titled "The Leviathan and the Bible." It reads, in this instance, God is described as having defeated the Leviathan in a triumph of good over evil. Good over evil, that's subjective. I would say new versus old, because the Leviathan is primordial. This is a water dragon. The Chinese call water dragons DNA, because the dragons would do like this, and then there was slots of bamboo, and this was the earliest. I don't know if it was the earliest. Don't get me to lying, but it was an early depiction of DNA strands. I'm going to show that when I actually get to North Carolina with Dr. Alim El-Bey. I've said a lot. Let me breathe. Doctor, what are your thoughts? I'm sorry.
I think it's an excellent presentation, guys. They're going to get a whole lot of good information when you're here next month. I think you might want to give them some more information on February the 3rd. Um, where they can find the flyer, how much is all the tickets, all that good information.
Yes, absolutely. Let me go back over here at the very top. Um, so yeah, the tickets are on crumbtv.info/events. Let me see. Can I CRUMB crumbtv.info/events. Uh, That's my elevator music. So yeah, if you go to crumbtv.info/events, you can get your tickets. Tickets are early bird. Get your tickets now. Anybody know when now is? Get your tickets now. $20. General admission at the door, $25. $20 early bird, 25 at the door. I believe we're going to be live streaming this as well. And I believe the live stream tickets are $15. All live stream tickets are $15. I gotta find that. It's not up here, but I'll make sure to get you that link ASAP. Let me see. It should be up here, the live stream option. So if you're not in town, you can still partake and hear the word. Let me see under buy tickets. Okay, I got to add that live stream feature. I do not know why it's not there. I'm so glad I did check. crumbtv.info/events. crumbtv.info/events. This is with Dr. Alim El-Bey. This is my first time working with my teacher. Uh, uh, Everybody I've worked with, respectfully, no disrespect to anybody, I would consider an equal. Not to say that I have an ego or anything like that, but I have done a fair share of work. But when we're dealing with the ranks of Dr. Alim El-Bey, that's for me a master teacher. And this is my first time actually being under his tutelage face to face. So my only real goal is to make him proud.
You already have, God.
Hmm, I'm I'm definitely grateful. That means everything to me. So when we get there that evening, um, you will, or it may be, I can't remember what time we set it for, but nonetheless, when you get your tickets, you'll get that information then. But when we get there, I will go into a lot more. This is one PowerPoint of 10. And I built almost all 10 off one Dr. Alim El-Bey video, just one. Built 10 PowerPoints because it was just, you know how he does. He'll go for 3 hours, and I'm just researching, and it'll take forever. And oftentimes, it truly does. But I love it when we have those situations where we're face to face. We have time. We can ask questions. Even for me, I can ask questions because some stuff. I'm not quite 100% on, and that's why I love my upline. And I take pride in that. But I digress. Apollo and the Pythia. So, oh yeah. These guys that have to fight these serpents in order to get to the next level. So God in the Bible had to fight the Leviathan. Zeus had to fight Typhon. Um, think. I think Moloch had to fight Yam. No, hold on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yam had to fight El. No. It was the Canaanite guy. Canaan
Yeah, Bow.
Baal. Ooh, okay, there we go. Baal had to fight Yam. Okay, ooh, Dr. Ali. See, that's why. That's why you need a teacher. That's why I need a teacher. In West Semitic mythology, Yam was given kingship over other gods by the chief god El. When Yam's rulership turned tyrannical and he possessed El's wife, the storm deity Bao had to challenge and defeated Yam in a titanic battle, ending with Yam cast down from the heavenly mountain Saphon. So now when we're dealing with Yam is a reptilian. Yam is a serpent snake type of thing, god that who's primordial, and the new god has to, so Bao has to fight Yam, Zeus has to fight Typhon, God has to fight Leviathan, Murdoch has to fight that woman. She was crying because the kids were babbling. Murdoch had to fight Leviathan? No, Tiamat. Murdoch had to fight Tiamat. Images. And Tiamat is a water dragon. Tiamat is a water. They're all water dragons. Typhon is a water dragon. Leviathan is a water dragon. They're all water dragons. Murdoch had to fight Tiamat because Murdoch is a new god. Tiamat is an old god. This is Clash of the Titans. This is the end of the primordial gods who were all reptilian. So who else had to fight a reptilian to get to the next level? Murdoch, Bao, Ra. Ra has to fight Apep. I said Ra has to fight Dagnabbit. Horus has to fight Apep. Oh my God. I don't know. Heru, Apep. They are playing with me today. Images. Here it is. The new god has to fight the old god. This is all wise, right, and exact. Yes, the location is Juice and More. That's double O. Put some respect on the name. 133 South Garnett Street, Henderson, North Carolina, 27536. Tap all the way in, family. This is a non-negotiable. With that said, so yeah, you're going to see where these new gods have to fight these old gods in order to claim their stake. And Apollo is no exception. Apollo has to fight the Python. And after he fight and slays the Python blood, this is mythology. The Python's blood lets up some type of fumes. And the fumes, I don't know, they're getting this girl high. You know, it's like some old, I'm not sure what the fumes are doing, but it's making an old girl tweak. And as she's tweaking, she's becoming an oracle, so to speak. So Python, definition number 1, a soothsaying spirit. A soothsaying spirit is a spirit that comes from heaven, snitching on God, talking to fortune tellers. There's some gods, demigods, up in heaven. What did my grandma call it back in the day? Ear hustling. Grandma called it ear hustling. Ear hustling over the big gods. These spirits come down to earth, whisper some jive talk. Grandma called it jive. Y'all talking jive. Whisper some jive into somebody's ear, and that person is a fortune teller. It's called a soothsaying spirit, or a person who is possessed by such a spirit. 2, this is number 2, the second definition of Python. A dragon killed by Apollo at Delphi. Number 3, large old world boa. That's all wise, right, and exact, family. That's all wise, right, and exact. Oh, I'm trying to get my thing in my ear. You better pick your afro, daddy, because it's flat on one side. As you can see, I really love this laugh button, the laugh track. I definitely overdose on it. Everything's funny, I guess. Oh, it's in backwards. Okay, there we go. Got it. Okay, moving on. Pythia, the serpent woman. So you can see Pythia. Remember, Medusa had serpent because it means sovereign female wisdom. This the type of woman, she knows some stuff. She knows some stuff. She's tapped in. So now this woman who knows some stuff, she's tapped in to the spirits. They're talking to her, and she has this wisdom. Look what she got in her hair. Look what she got. You can't make this up, family. You can't make this up. Those are snakes in her hair. Looking like a diet Medusa. Looking like a dot. Right. Right. But in the next picture, going from left to right, from left to right. In the next picture, you're going to see her channeling the spirits, and the fumes are behind her, and the fumes are technically is the blood, or it was just the blood site from which the python was slayed. They made her sit there. And then the next picture, third from the left, you're going to see her cloaked in red, and you're going to see those fumes coming from a crack. And now the whole thing where we blend reality with mythology, I kind of don't like to do that because it really confuses people, or maybe it just confuses me.
No, it confuses people.
Okay. Not saying she was real or the python was real. I'm not saying that. But that place where she's sitting, that's real. That's a real place. It's called Delphi. So the last picture, the far right, that's where it is said that she sat. I know a lot of times, when I talk about, let's say, maybe the Bible, people be like, so Crumb, you saying Jesus real? I'm like, I know if I make the reference, it may come across as I'm legitimizing it, trying to make it real. And that's not the case. I'm just going with mythology, even though I do believe that mythology is just our history that goes so far back that they can't confirm it. Everything is based off, if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's there to hear it, according to them, it didn't fall, which is very egotistical. It fell regardless of if you witnessed it or not. That's an obvious thing. But because in his history, it's not in there, then he labels it as mystery. Fine, no problem. Continuing on, the serpent woman, because we are the reptilians family. I'm not going to stop saying it. Medusa, Yemaya, Mami Wata, and triple moon goddesses. They're all depicted as mermaids, sirens, and or serpents, which are all synonymous. When you're dealing with a mermaid, because remember, mermaids have scales, because these are water dragons, Leviathan, Typhon, Apep. Matter of fact, here, let me go back to Apep real quick. Where is Apep? When Apep attacks Heru, he attacks him in a boat. Why in a boat? Because hold on. Heru in a boat fighting Apep. Not Peru. Oh my God. I mean, even though it's the same, it's not.
It was right there.
Oh, it was? I mean. That's right. So now, if you go, and really it was set, because remember, Zeus couldn't beat him alone. Zeus needed help. Horus, Heru, couldn't beat Apep alone. He needed help. Who helped him? Set helped him. Heru in a boat fighting Apep. And it should be Set. So there it is. So now, as you can see, because this is a water dragon. It's a water dragon. This is Godzilla. Every time you see him, he's going to be in the water. It's a reptilian who's coming out of the water. I was talking to this girl. She said, "Yeah, Crumb, this whole thing that you talking, we the reptilians, it's really cute and everything, but we don't slither." I was like, "Oh, really? We don't slither?" Hold on 2 seconds. Let me mute this. So I was like, "Oh, really? So we don't slither?" And she was like, "Yeah, we don't slither." I said, "Okay." And this is what I'm gonna talk about when I get up there with Dr. Alim El-Bey. Family, press 111 if you understand when you were a tadpole, when you were a sperm, you slithered up your mama's vagina. I'm not trying to be lewd or nothing like that, but we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. If you understand that when you were a tadpole, you slithered up your mama's vagina, press 111. Because we are the reptilians, and that's all Wise Writings at. That's all Wise Writings at, man. Moving on. The Serpent Man. Talked about the Serpent Woman. We got to talk about the Serpent Man. So now, Tupac Amaru comes from Quiche Tupac, royal or shining. And Amaru means serpent or a mythological serpent-like being. Remember, Tupac real name is not no effing Tupac. His name is not Tupac. His name is Lashane Parrish Crooks. Press 222 if you did not know that. If you did not know that his name was not Tupac, his name was Lashane Parrish Crooks. If you didn't know that, press 222. We going in like somebody left the door open. That is not his name. His name is Lashane. And that was his name on January, February, March, April, May, June. June 6th. Yes, I did have to count. On June 16th, 1971, that was his name. On June 29th, that same year, his mother, Alice Faye Walker, who changed her name to Afeni Shakur. Her name is Alice Faye Walker. Last name Walker, nasty rap talker. I don't rap. That's just me being funny. Alice Faye Walker, later known as Afeni Shakur, changed his name. Alice and Billy Garland, Pac's dad, named him Lashane Parrish Crooks to avoid him being targeted by his Black Panther affiliated family's enemies. Now, this is the thing. When they changed his name to Tupac Amaru, that means shining serpent. What are you talking about? The name Tupac means shining serpent. I know for a fact you didn't know that. Y'all think that man named Tupac. Tupac means shining serpent. His name Lashane. This year, what? Matter of fact, let me check the receipts. Let me check the receipts. Is 2024 the year of the dragon? I'm not playing with nobody. I'm not playing. The reptilian energy is alive and well. We are now in the year of the dragon. This is the year of the dragon. That Tupac energy is alive and well in 2024. You're going to see. It's coming. It's coming. Wait till June. Wait till June. We're going to get that energy. I digress. The serpent man. The uraeus, or serpent crown, shown on Egyptian and Nubian royalty, also known in Africa as the nagar or the negus. I got some Dr. Alim El-Bey. In tangent with Brother Panic. Rest in power. Which is an uncanny connection to the word Niggas. Negus. This is on the right. A king. It's used as the title of the sovereign of Ethiopia's. Negus. The holy, the holy serpent. In the Hebrew Bible, Nehashtan is a derogatory name for a sacred brass serpent mounted on a brass pole that God commanded Moses to make. Moses used a fiery serpent to cure the Israelites from snake bites. Let me fix that. I can't. Let me try to fix it. It was bothering me. From snake bites, from snakes which God had sent to punish them. Hold on, Crumb. Hold on, Crumb. Breathe. Breathe. Did you just say that God sent some fiery reptilians to bite? Remember, family, this is the story according to Moses. They were in that desert, lost for 40 years, and they started to lose faith. This is the children of Israel. So they start talking ish about Moses and about God. So God heard it. God gets upset. Because remember, God is emotional. God is emotional. God gets upset. He hates Esau. He's jealous, blah, blah, blah. So God hears what they say, gets mad, and sends reptilians to bite them. Oh, Crumb, the reptilians, they're so bad, Crumb. God got some henchmen that are reptilian. God got some thugs. God got his young boys, and he will sick them on you, and they all reptilian. So God sent the reptilian goons to go bite the children of Israel, and Moses start tweaking. God, please, they're dying. Help them. So God tells Moses, set up a cross and put a serpent on the cross, and this serpent will die for their sins. The first Jesus was a reptilian. Y'all gonna have to grapple with that. So Moses used a fiery serpent to cure the Israelites from snake bites, from snakes which God had sent to punish them for speaking against him and Moses while wandering in the desert. The symbol of snakes on a staff or a pole is a motif that is widespread in both ancient and modern times. So that snake had poison, and the poison was also the cure. So now, snake on a pole represents curing. Family, I think we already did 222. Press 333 if this looks familiar. Press 333 if this looks familiar. This is in the Bible. But remember, this is not exclusive to the Bible. This is not an original story. This is another motif that is ubiquitous. That's the word of tonight. I'm gonna say that a bunch of times. That is ubiquitous across cultures, across times. No matter what time or place you go, you're gonna see this snake on a staff that represents healing. And then to add to this whole reptilian thing, this healing was on a cross, died for their sins, just like Jeebus. When I was a Bible thumper in high school, the white boys would say Jeebus instead of Jesus, and it would just really irk me back then. It would just get on my nerves. But now that I've gotten older, I can I can see the comedy in it. Stylized depiction of Christ crucifixion compared to Moses's snake on a pole. This is according to John 3:14. As Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up. I've said a lot. What say ye, good doctor?
Once again, 100% correct, God. I'm listening, bearing witness. That's all I can do. You know, it's an excellent presentation. They really gonna get a lot from this. And this has just been about an hour and a half. You can go as long as you want when you come here. So you say you have 10 presentations?
and we're gonna jump through them. So one presentation is like this one is more it is less physical. One presentation, I have the physical attributes of humans compared to reptilian. Why you say we the reptilians? Because this attribute of us is very, very reptilian. This attribute is very, and I'll go through all of those. And then on the other side, I'll go through, the particular gods, and in another one, I'll touch another area. I can, because I've done them. I did that video based off you like 5 years ago. So, this is my excuse to go back and just kind of refresh myself on all of it, because I haven't touched it since I first got it from you. But what's the time frame now? I know we are a hour and a half in. How long do we have?
You can still go, God.
Okay, well, I'll drop a couple more,
Okay.
and then I'll save the best for actually when we get face to face. So I'll keep going a little bit. So here we go. So we see the stylized depiction of Christ on the crucifix, and now on the next one, we're going to see the same thing with the serpent. But this is not just exclusive to Moses. This is also the rod, the staff of Asclepian.
Excuse me. People are saying that you can't see the pictures.
Okay. Actually, I think I have to leave and come back out. I'm sorry, and come back in. Do you mind?
No.
Okay, excuse me. I'll be right back.
Okay, y'all. He gonna be right back. Yeah. Everybody is saying that they can't see the pictures, so we got to see those for sure. There's no doubt about it. All right. Hopefully, you come on back in. Able to come back in. Let's make sure. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, he is Brother Rashad, no doubt.
All right. So instead of me sharing screen, I just uploaded it straight to StreamYard. So we should be able to see it from there. Go to What slide? I was on number drop. Okay. The rod staff Asclepian of Asclepius is a serpent entwined, gnarled wooden rod wielded. Did I do that? Did I? Am I pressing the button? I don't know. I'm not sure why it's doing it. That's not mine.
It's still rotating and buffering on the end.
Okay. Let me go back here. 28. Okay. Let's see what happens. I wanted to ask the listening audience, can they see everything fine now? If y'all can see everything, let me know. Because I'm actually looking on YouTube myself. Okay, yeah, the family said they can see it. I think they said at one. Let me see. Can y'all hear me okay? Yeah, it looks like they can see me and hear me. All right, cool, cool, cool. Okay. All right, cool, cool. Thank you. I was just making sure. Thank you so much for your patience. Okay, so moving on. Um, it's the real symbol of medicine and healthcare, yet frequently confused with Hermes caduceus or caducus, which was a magic wand like staff with two snakes held by the Roman god Mercury or Hermes in Greek. So you can see all of them in this particular picture. The snake on the staff is the one in the middle and the very top because that's dealing with Jesus. The one at the bottom left hand corner is Asclepius. The one in the right hand corner is the caduceus of Hermes, Thoth, Tahuti, whatever you want to call him. The Holy Serpent. Let's continue. Medicine and magic are closer in relation than you think. So here we see on the right side the medicine symbol, and beside the medicine symbol, you see the eye of Horus. And that's the right eye of Horus, which looks like an R. So the right eye of Horus looks like, I believe that's the right. Let me just, okay, yeah, that's the right eye. The Holy Serpent, Exodus chapter 7, verses 8 through 12. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, when Pharaoh says to you, perform a miracle, then say to Aaron, take your staff and throw it down before Pharaoh, and it'll become a snake. So Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh and did as the Lord commanded. Remember, family, I told you once, and I'll tell you again. When we dealing with God is a trickster. You're gonna see a lot of tricks with God. Remember, God's favorite um uh uh prophet was Yaqub. God's favorite. Okay, I can't. Let me just Google it. Was Jacob God's favorite prophet? Hold on. Was Jacob God's favorite prophet? I can't find it. But anyway, I have it in the PowerPoint. Jacob was favored by God. Jacob is Yaqub. And remember, Jacob pulled that trick with his mama. Jacob and his mama pulled that trick on his daddy and pretended to be his brother. You know what I'm talking about, right, doctor?
Esau.
Esau, thank you. played that trick on his daddy because he made that janky deal with his brother Esau. That was the same trick we saw with Zeus playing that trick on Kronos. Zeus and his mama did the same, because these are trickster gods. I'm getting off topic, but I would like to go here. Please forgive me for the sake of time. Zeus and his mama, because remember, his daddy's Kronos. Kronos eats his babies, and Zeus was the 12th son, just like Joseph. Zeus was the 12th son, the youngest son, and his daddy told his mama, bring me my 12th son, and I'm going to eat him. Instead of bringing his son, Zeus, they brought a stone. Kronos eats the stone thinking it's his son. It was a trick. No different than when Jacob and his mama played that trick on his daddy. The gods are tricksters. So now you have Moses and his brother Aaron and their God, Yahweh. And Yahweh tells them, listen, we're going to go in there. We're going to play some tricks and some, yada, yada, yada. So this is what we're reading right here. Take your staff and throw it down before Pharaoh and it'll become a snake. So Moses and Aaron was like, okay, bet. They went to Pharaoh and did as the Lord commanded. Aaron threw his staff down in front of Pharaoh and it became a snake, just like Yahweh said. Pharaoh summoned sorcerers and magicians. Magicians do trick. Magicians do family. Wait, what was the last number we did? Let me see. I think it was 222. Yeah, 222. Press 333 if you understand at the very basic level that magicians do magic tricks. If you understand that magicians do magic tricks, if you do, I'm just asking for a little bit of engagement. Amen. I'm just joking. But no, if you do understand that, then press 333. So now, Pharaoh, seeing what Moses and Aaron did as Yahweh told them, Pharaoh recognizes instantly, it's a trick. Go get my effing tricksters. I'm not playing with nobody. He grabs his sorcerers. Remember, the sorcerers are dealing with the source. Oh, what type of my magic come from the source? Y'all dealing with Yahweh and these other gods, because Yahweh had to fight Leviathan to get this magic. But we dealing with sorcerers, and they pulling from the source. I digress. Pharaoh summons his sorcerers and magicians, who also did the same thing by their secret arts. Each one threw down a staff, and they became snakes too. I know that trick. I know that trick. Everybody knows that trick. The holy serpent. A catechus is a wand, not a staff, a wand, entwined by two snakes and topped by wings. This is important. The two serpents resemble the DNA double helix. It's called a water dragon. It's a water dragon. In the primordial waters. The primordial press 444 if you understand the primordial waters are in a woman's womb. Because when she get ready to have a baby, the water break. This is the flood story. This is the flood story. What are you talking about? When I tell you about the flood story, I'm not talking about no damn Noah. I'm talking about a woman about to give birth. Birth, not B-I-R-T-H, B-E-A-R-T-H. And when she goes to the birth, she manifests. I'm going somewhere else. The cosmic serpent, DNA and the origins of knowledge. This is Jeremy Narby. This isn't Black Power, more science, tinfoilhat.com. To the far right, look at these two black snakes. These are two males and they're fighting, but I guess some people say in a euphemism it's a dance, but this is their version of fighting. When the snakes fight, press 555 if it looks like a helix. The snakes fighting is a helix. There's your water dragon. That's the DNA. That's it. Right there. They're fighting. They're intertwined. All you need is a staff with some effing wings. There's your caduceus. There's your DNA. There's your helix. And it's moving in real life just like your DNA. It's all wise, right, and exact. The holy serpent. Amen. I'm just joking when I say amen. Amen. Ra. Anyway, the spine is the pole or the staff that the serpent energy slithers up chakra by chakra. When the serpent gets to the top, wings emerge from out of the head where the temple is located. Go back and look at the caduceus or the catechus. The serpents are spiraling up a pole and the wings are at the top of the dome. There's the caduceus on the far right-hand side. There's the staff. Now, in this one, it only shows one serpent. But if you study Dr. Alim El-Bey, he clearly tells you it's not one serpent, it's two. They're called the Ida and the Pingala. What are you guys talking about? What are you talking about? Crumb, it's only one. No, it's not. It's two of them. I know their names. Anyway, moving on. The holy serpent. I'm not done. I ain't done. When the serpent energy reaches the top of the spine, the wings extend. This is represented through the cephnoid, the cephnoid bone, which is situated in the middle of the skull towards the front. The cephnoid's shape resembles that of butterfly or bat with its wings extended. This is all wise, right, and exact. There's your caduceus. Crumb, well, I get what you saying, and at the top of the dome is the wings, but that's not really there. Yeah, no, that's really there. At the top of the staff, there's wings, literally. I'm not esoteric, metaphysical. This is anatomy and physiology. What are you talking about? Crumb, I don't believe in the Bible. This ain't the Bible. You're going to go to school and learn this, depending on how far you go. Respectfully, the holy serpent. Let's continue. The winged serpents would fly around the throne of God, singing, "Holy, holy, holy." The holy temple is the reptilian brain. Jesus called it the upper room.
Exactly.
So this part right here that I was showing you, that's the very top of the spine, the very bottom of the brain stem. That's the reptilian brain. The very bottom, when you go to the top of the brain, the spine isn't there. That's like the top stuff. The reptilian brain is towards the bottom. This is also where the pineal gland is at. That's more so towards the perfect center, but I digress. The holy serpent. In religious terms, the Kundalini energy is called Christ consciousness. It is considered the ultimate gift from God. That's why it has such a strong correlation with Christmas, Christ Mass. The pine tree symbolizes the spine of the body. It is the tree of life as it stays green all year around and produces pine cones that are identical to the pineal gland. The word pine is one letter off from spine. The rainbow serpent chakra energy spirals up the spine like a snake up a pine, resembling Christmas lights. At the top of the tree is a bright and shining morning star from the crown chakra. This is all wise, right, and exact. Look at this picture right here, a Christmas tree as a symbol of pineal gland and chakras. It's the rainbow serpent. That's why those lights that go up the Christmas tree, they're different color lights. There's only 7 colors. Roy G. Biv: red, orange, yellow, blue, green, indigo, violet. Those lines of glowing lights, that's a rainbow serpent. That rainbow serpent is the Kundalini fire energy. And when it goes up to the very top of all the chakras, when they align, they turn gold. This is the bright and morning, this is the bright and shining morning star. The Christmas tree is the tree of life, which is symbolic of you in your Christ consciousness state. This is a picture of someone with the one to the left, and it resembles a Christmas tree, if you ask me. And the Kabbalah is the same tree with those serpents who have different colors, and now it's 2. You see those 2, just like the doctor told you in his measure. The holy serpent. Let me see where I'm at on time. 90 is not. I'm gonna refresh. I'm just gonna see what it says. It says 92 minutes. Okay. 15 minutes, and I'll close out. So now, the holy serpent, seraphim, literally burning ones. These are the goons. These are the henchmen. God will send his serpents to kick your ass. Literally burning ones. The word seraph is normally a synonym for serpents when used in the Hebrew Bible. The seminal passage in the book of Isaiah used the term to describe fiery 6-winged beings that fly around the throne of God crying, "Holy, holy, holy." Hold on, Crumb. Breathe for a second. Are you saying in the Bible these angels, because they paint them as white people, the angels in the Bible that are flying around God yelling, "Holy, holy, holy," those are serpents? Well, listen, the Old Testament is written in Hebrew, and according to the text, yes. Seraph, I'm reading from the right side. Seraphim appear in the 2nd century BC book of Enoch, where they are mentioned in conjunction with cherubim as the heavenly creatures standing nearest to the throne of God. In non-biblical sources, they're called Akaist, or serpents, dragons. Tap all the way in, the holy serpent. Seraph is synonymous with serpent, and seraphim is plural for the serpents. They're the serpents who bit the children of Israel in the wilderness. The seraphim evolved from the uraeus, the gold cobra serpent worn by Egyptian pharaohs. Uraei without wings, and with 2 or 4 wings, spitting poison fire. They had 2 wings to cover the face, 2 wings to cover the body, 2 wings to cover the feet. Isaiah 6 and 9, it says, seraphim stood above him, each having 6 wings. He covered his face, with 2 he covered his feet, and with 2 he flew. My apologies, that's what it is. 2 to cover the face, 2 to cover the feet, 2 to fly. These are these dragons. The winged serpent that fly around breathing fire clearly describe dragons. The fact that the Bible makes this very clear is in the book of Job. According to the book of Job, chapter 21, it says, the scales on its back are like rows of shields. When it's raising itself up, the gods are afraid. From its mouth go flaming torches. Sparks of fire leap out. From its nostrils comes smoke, as from a boiling pot and burning rushes. It breathes kindles, coals, and a flame come out its mouth. Family, I'm not the smartest man in the world, but that's a dragon. That's a dragon. What are you talking about? This is in the Bible. These are the reptilians in heaven. Now, when I say reptilians in heaven, this could easily be the Anunnaki in space. Tomato, tomato. I'm sorry.
The Sephirims.
Teach.
Or seraphims, as they refer to them as.
Amen. Yeah, that's right. Reptilian pineal gland, and this is where I'll end this particular one. This is the best for last. This is not the end of this PowerPoint. This is going to be my ending because it's my favorite part of the PowerPoint. Reptilian pineal gland. This is according to newsaces.illinois.edu. When I say .edu, I want you to know that's short for education. This is a scholastic and scholarly source. And the article is titled, Pet Reptiles Need Vitamin D and Calcium for Bone Health. Pet reptiles need vitamin D and calcium for bone health, just like humans and other mammals. Reptile needs vitamin D3 for sunlight. This is important because Europeans drink milk because they can't metabolize sunlight. Or ultraviolet B light to grow and maintain strong bones. That should be grow, I guess, as a typo. I don't know. Without proper sun or UVB exposure, pet reptiles can be deficient in vitamin B3 and therefore deficient in calcium. My blurb up top reads, we have predominant light-coded genes. These genes are bits of genetic code that can only be activated by certain amount of cosmic light. When the light comes out of our head, we call that aha moment. This can be interpreted as waking up when the light comes on, or meaning gene activation. This is the genetic aha moment when the light goes on, turns on, flips on, the switch activates. This is genetic memory instinctually reacting to sunlight. This is in our programming, that same programming that is in reptiles, to where they need to bask is what reptiles call it. But yo ass, I'm cold. Get your ass in the sun, Kiki. You know, damn. See, with you, they call it anemic. Ain't the crocodile anemic? The crocodile need to get in the sun. The plants are anemic. They need to get in the sun, metabolize the sunlight for them to operate accurately. But when you need it, oh, you're anemic. No, you need vitamin D. I digress. This is the lizard-like reptile, the Tutara, has a well-developed parietal eye. Parietal eye. Write that down. With small lens and retina. This thing has a parietal eye that has a lens. This is not metaphorical. This is zoology, taxonomy. So now the parietal eye has a lens and a retina. In extinct birds and mammals, the parietal organ, but in most species, not the pineal gland, is absent. I know I read that wrong. Please forgive me. I'm gonna move on for the sake of time. The next one is anapsid.org in the article titled Parietal Eye. It reads, question. What is the third eye on a bearded dragon? Answer. The parietal eye. It is visible as an A pulsant gray spot on the top of some lizards' heads, also referred to as the pineal eye. This thing that is on the reptiles is called a pineal eye or a third eye. The parietal eye is the white spot on the top of the iguana's head. The parietal eye on the bearded dragon blends in with its coloring. Question: do snakes have a third eye? Answer, according to snakesareLong.blogspot in an article titled Life is Short but Snakes Are Long. Do snakes have a third eye? Answer, many lizards have a parietal eye, also known as a third eye or pineal eye. As with many things, you would assume that if lizards have parietal eyes, then snakes them then too, since snakes are just one group of legless lizards. Short answer, yes. There's your bearded dragon. You can you press? I think we've done 555. Press 666 if you can see the third eye. There it is. Press 666 if you can see the third eye. Press 666 if you can see the third. That has a lens and a retina. This is not metaphysical. Press 666 if you can see the third eye with a lens, an iris, a retina. This is not metaphysical. This is all wise, right, and exact. Yo ass got so. What other animal is tapped in like the reptilian? The parietal eye is the smoking gun of this particular PowerPoint. I am not playing with nobody. You know how much nobody is? That's me asking a rhetorical joke. But yeah. Question: why is the pineal gland called the third eye? Answer, according to crystallinks.com in an article titled Third Eye Pineal Gland. The pineal gland, I got this from Dr. Alim El-Bey. Dr. Alim El-Bey actually did a PowerPoint on my YouTube channel, and he debuted this information, and I damn near almost just copied it from his PowerPoint. But anyway, pineal gland, also called a pineal body, aphysis cerebri. Aphysis, or the third eye, is a small endocrine gland. It produces melatonin, a hormone that affects the modulation of wake sleep patterns, a photoperiodic functions. His talked about how it had crystals on it. I thought I had that one, but that's where I want to end it for the sake of time. Obviously, I have lots of more to go over, but I want to reserve that for either in person or live stream. I'm going to be in Henderson, North Carolina on Saturday, February 3rd with Dr. Alim El-Bey, the master teacher. I'm going to go over and answer any questions you got the questions. I'll present you with as much as I know, and if and what I don't know, I will yield to my master teacher. I sit at his feet. So with that said, it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful event, live lecture with me and God Almighty. With that said, Doctor, I want to give you high honors and perfect praise. I want to thank you again for giving me this opportunity. It means everything to me. I'm grateful.
No doubt. Appreciate you, Brother Crumb, for coming on and putting these pieces of this puzzle together, because that's what we need. You know, everybody getting distracted with the Cat Williams thing, Steve Harvey, with the, you know, these things are distractions. You know, this is the real information right here that needs to be the focus, because he's telling you about your Kundalini. He's telling you about your brain. He's telling you about the Ida and the Pingala, your sacral nerves. He's telling you about, you know, all these things in which that can create illumination within you, the DMT, the methyltryptamine, He's telling you all these things because these are things that are soul saving. Um, any and everything else on which that people speak on, such as the Cat Williams event, that shit ain't saving your soul, you know.
Yeesh.
So this is the true teachings right here, the true light, as Dr. York used to say.
Well, I thank you again. I want to tell the family, go to crumbtv.info/events. That's crumbtv.info/events. You can get your tickets there. Uh, Early bird is preferred. So please uh, jump on it. Also, I'm going to make sure that I have the live stream option as well for the family who can't make it in the physical. You'll definitely be felt in the spirit, and we want to get you some eyes in the building. I don't think it's going to be very hard to make that happen, so I'll make sure to make that happen for the family. Again, Dr. Alim El-Bey, I want to thank you. It means everything to me. I'll see you on the 3rd.
There we
Oh,
go, God.
oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to say, before the 3rd, definitely, I want Dr. Alim El-Bey to come on my platform to grace me and the master students abroad and demonstrate whatever it is you want to demonstrate, or however it is, whatever's clever. I just want you to be on the platform and join us over there and to share on my side.
All right, no doubt. We can do that. All
Thank you
right, sure.
again, Doctor.
I appreciate you too, Brother Crumb, master student right here. And anyone have any questions in the chat before we go? We can get some
Oh,
questions going. Someone said, someone said, facts, distraction, information about self is real knowledge. Now know thyself. There's Brother Guy, Brother Rashid, who just spoke that. All right. I don't see any questions, but they was chiming in while you was doing it, God. So um, as you put salute to the chat, appreciate everyone, and we're gonna be on again. I'm gonna be on Brother Crumb's connections, and we're gonna get it in. All right, peace, y'all. Oh, hold up. Somebody just had a question. Somebody said, Bam Bam said thoughts on Kali Yuga in a few days. Your thoughts on Kali Yuga ends in a few days. You have anything to say about that, Brother Chrome?
I just heard the first time someone talking about that. No, matter of fact, it was Blue Pill.
Mm-hmm.
I was with Red and Blue yesterday, and that was my first time hearing about it in my whole life. So then I'm like, okay, I'd never heard that before, and it
Mm-hmm.
just so happens on this channel the very next day. So I never hear this word before, and then I just start hearing it all the time. Incredible. I want to humbly clarify. I do not know, and I would like to ask. Could you please share with me what is that?
Right. Kali Yuga is an age in which that is ending, and we're going now into what is called Sata Yuga, which would be correlated to the age of Aquarius, in which that we would have ended the age of Pisces, and we're going into now the age of Aquarius. So Kali Yuga would be similar to the age of Pisces, even though it was much longer. Allegedly, Brother Bam Bam said that he heard that it ends January the 15th Pacific time at 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. So they done got the time on it, So that's, I guess we got to check that time and see. But yeah, my teacher, Grandmaster Sunyata Saraswati, told us that the age of Kali Yuga was ending, and we now have approached and entered into the age of Satya Yoga, which is essentially the golden age. Okay.
Mm. Incredible. Okay.
All right. All right, y'all. We out. Peace.